Hi everyone, hope you all are doing really well, and this video is about the telephonic interview questions. So I have given a round in a and I have given a telephonic interview round which I have cleared. So yeah, this video is all about those. I have included some of the questions, and there was one girl who has posted on I think some of the channel that she has given the interview in accenture. So from that also she has got some questions. So yeah, so they are very important questions, and trust me guys, while preparing the slide, I have learned a lot. And I assure you, if you completely listen to this video and seeing the content of this video, I'll assure that you'll not get a regret of it. And there are a lot many things which we do it in our day-to-day life, where we do automations, where we do API, but we don't know the basics of it, and they are like deep diving into it. And those we got to know when the questions is asked, or like questions being asked in the interview, and that is very like it's a route in which we sometimes know, sometimes not, and we don't know the complete information of it. So in this video, I'm gonna cover all those things. So it's hardly have a five questions, and those are very important, 5 or 6 questions, and I think those are very important questions. And yeah, the interview as well as we are doing it, so we should know about it, like why we are doing and how we are doing it. So I think this video is all about that. So yeah, okay, let's move to the slides. I'm not covered much of the thing. Okay, so this is the question, guys. The driver is an interface. So how you can create object driver here. So what is the purpose of writing web driver equals to new of Chrome driver? So here is a trick. So you have to explain in terms of abstract concept, interface concepts are involving in that. So explain that point of view. Whose undefined methods are calling from where? Okay, what are the undefined methods? So okay, so as here we know web driver is an interface. Okay, we cannot create an object of an interface. So that is the definition of an interface, right? So web driver is an interface consisting of all the predefined methods for various operations on browser. Okay, and the Chrome driver is a class that implements those methods and gets the response from the web driver interface and sends that JSON file to the Selenium over HTTP protocol. So this will be the answer. That's why it is like highlighting. But if you wanted to go deep driving, so if you might have seen a diagram of search contain, web driver, remote web driver, and then Firefox and Chrome driver, where in that search context is the supermost interface in Selenium that we know, right? Which is extended by another interface called web driver, right? So, and all the abstract method of search context and web driver interface are implemented in remote web driver class. Okay. So remote web driver class, okay, and all the browser related classes such as Firefox driver, Chrome driver extend the remote web driver class. So in that way, this is a cycle. So like search content is it's a supermost interface, right? So in the Selenium, so in that which extended by another, like it has been extended by WebDriver class. So WebDriver has all the properties of such context, and remote WebDriver will implement WebDriver, okay? And then remote WebDriver has Firefox and Chrome driver. They extended those properties of. So in that way, it's like they have the qualities of WebDriver even. So here, we are creating an instance of a WebDriver interface and casting it to Chrome driver class. Okay. And then again, web driver is an interface, as I'm always saying that this is a clearly definition by different points. I'm explaining the same thing. So web driver is an interface, so that if you're not getting in the one point, you can get it in the second, and you can get it in the third one. Okay. So web driver is an interface, and all methods which are declared in web driver interface are implemented by the respective driver class. But we can do upcasting. Okay. We can run the script in any browser, that is running the same automation script in different browser to achieve runtime polymorphism. I'm going in deep diving into it, guys, because I cannot put everything on the slide because this will take the entire video. And this is a very deep topic, and yeah, I'm just gonna like explaining it while reading all those stuff, and I might tell you something different than that. Okay, so just listen to me. So WebDriver defines, I think, common methods which all browsers such as Firefox, Chrome, etc. uses, and all these class methods are derived from WebDriver interface. And all the abstract methods of both interface, both methods of both the interfaces are implemented in remote WebDriver class, which is extended by browser classes, okay, such as Firefox, Chrome browser. Okay. Let's see why we are using. There is a statement called. Okay, I'll just write here. So, why can't we use WebDriver driver equals to new of WebDriver? Okay. So, we cannot write a code like this because we cannot create an object of an interface. WebDriver is an interface. Okay. So, that's why we have come up with this WebDriver driver new of Firefox driver. So, the Firefox, here, WebDriver is an interface and driver is a reference variable. Firefox driver is a constructor. New is a keyword, and this is how you have to define. And new Firefox driver is an object. So, the Firefox driver instance, which gets created based on the above statement, will only be invoked and act on the method implemented by Firefox driver. Okay. Or like here when we created WebDriver driver new of Firefox driver, right? So, because we don't want to run, we just don't want our script to run on single browser. So, we use multiple browser for cross browser compatibility, and we need the flexibility to use the other browser like Chrome driver to run on Chrome browser and Internet Explorer driver to run on IE browser and so on. So when you write WebDriver driver equals to new of Firefox driver, you can you can achieve cross browser compatibility when you write in that way. But when you write it in this way, like Chrome driver equals to new of Chrome driver, right? When you put in that way, then you can only like in that statement, that is only supported by Chrome browser only, right? So, because only like for example, using that statement can run script on Chrome browser only, right? So that's why we'll be using it in that way, WebDriver driver new of Firefox driver, so we can have the cross browser compatibility. Okay. So that you know, right, WebDriver is an interface, and here I have put in search context. It's a supermost interface in the Selenium, which is extended by another interface called WebDriver. And all the abstract method of search context and WebDriver interface are implemented in remote WebDriver class. So to know about remote WebDriver class, we might have done another video then. So here we can also achieve runtime polymorphism also when we do the casting. So running the same automation script, right? Running the same running the same automation script with different browser to achieve the runtime polymorphism, and all the browser related classes such as Firefox driver, Chrome driver, etc. extend the remote WebDriver class. So we're gonna know about remote WebDriver class in the next upcoming video. So okay, that was quite tough, and to cover it into in the less time it is difficult. So okay, so this is very important topic. So while performing cross-browser testing, what are the issues we face and how to resolve them? Okay, so I think the slide is gone just messed up. I was looking very okay. Anyways, we're gonna cover. So you have to listen to me when watching slides. Okay, I'm gonna share the slide with you so that it will be a little easier for you guys. So you know the drill, right? So different browsers have different rendering engines and they compute each site different. And that's where cross-browser compatibility issue occurs. Therefore, it is necessary to check the compatibility of your website across different browser OS and devices. For developer, cross-browser compatibility is considered as a final step of web app designing, but performing the cross-browser testing is not that simple as it seems to be. There are many tasks involved in it, and tester may face many challenges while executing the test cases and ensuring website compatibility across all the browsers. So what we do it, right, like for example, multiple browser, their versions and their OS combination. So we have to categorize it. We cannot go and, test Windows 0, Windows 1 and all, whatever, Windows 7, Windows 8. So we just make the combinations of, let's say, how we do it. Like we do it in like Windows 8. Okay. So with Windows 8 and we'll be having the Windows 8 and then latest version of Chrome and latest version of Firefox. We'll be having the latest version of those things, and we'll have those combinations and make a testing of it. And the same as in with this thing also. We can do it for the Mac OS and we can do it for Linux. So there are combinations of Ubuntu and with what is the latest version of it. We'll be doing the combinations. So there are multiple combinations, like maybe you will take Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. And then you have the different version of Chrome and Firefox, and you can check, like you can check with Chrome, Firefox and this thing. So this is how you will be doing with the latest browser testing, so that when as an application, how you might do it for your application in a different way, but in the general how app things work in that way. So their versions, their OS combinations, so continuous browser updates. So what happens is Firefox always update in 4 to 6 weeks. They'll update their browser with a new tools or maybe new design. So that update has to be taken care, and automation is not that easy as it seems to, because we know that we updated it, and if something has changed in the UI, it will be difficult for us to manage that compatibility issues. So parallel testing of the browser, okay, and the doc type error. So what happens is sometimes in the body of HTML code we miss the doc type. So if that error has come up, you have to go and check in the HTML CSS code and fix them. So this thing, have you ever faced a situation where you write the entire code, but when you run it, error pop up on your screen? If yes, then very well aware is a doc type error. It is the most basic line of every code missing, which is lead to the fault directory. So yeah. So if sometimes it is not included in the HTML, then browser like Internet Explorer often display many they will add it, but often display many browser errors during cross-browser testing. For example, if can detect a web pages from loading correctly in the browser. So if any browser behaves in a different way, check the doc type in your HTML. It is the one way to avoid browser compatibility issue. And then invalid CSS and HTML code. So they are something, then we miss the div block and the div branch. So those things, that some places are there, some places are not. So how you have to go and check that. So then how to handle the stale element exception? What are the dynamic ways? So stale means old, as we know, as the normal words comes up, and decayed, no longer fresh. The stale element means an old element or a no longer available, right? It is it's not available. Assume there's an element that is found on a web page referenced as a web element in a WebDriver. So if a DOM, if DOM changes, then web element goes stale. If we try to interact with an element which is stale, and see, stale element, we know it, like how you handle it. That is the main thing. We can refresh the web page. Sometimes we do that, and sometimes we use try catch blocks. So we can loop that, right? Okay. So without main method, can we execute program? Yes, we can execute a Java program. What happens is, as this is a very basic question. So what happens is when class is loaded into memory by class loader, so first it will call to the static block. So without main method, by using static block. So if your code is if your program is in a static block, it will run. So static block is in Java is a group of statement that gets executed only once class is loaded into the memory by Java class loader. So it is also known as static initialization block. So that you should know that yes, we can do it under static initialization block. And this is a very important question. What bugs usually found in API text? So I think many people knows about API as of now. So what is API and all? I'm just gonna cover it into this thing. So as we know, API testing is an integral part of the software quality assurance process. You need the right approach and tool to improve your testing, right? Okay. I don't know, there's something. Okay, so what is an API? API stands for Application Programming Interface, which is a set of routines, protocol, and tools that connects an application to the web or other APIs. Okay. This is also called as a procedure. Functions of subroutine is a program that performs a particular task. A protocol is a format for transmitting data between two systems. Okay. So an API indicates how one software program should interact with another software program, right? So API acts as an interface between two software applications by allowing them to communicate with each other. So like two software applications, how they'll communicate is through API. So API testing is like any other testing, tries to uncover bugs related to inconsistency, deviation from the expected behavior. Okay. So, and what bugs like duplicate or missing functionality, improper messaging, error handling mechanism is incompatible, multi-thread issues, security performance and security issues, reliability issues. So, APIs are involved in each and every system that we use. API testing is critical to ensure that our digital life runs in an increasingly seamlessly and efficient manner. So API makes our phone smart, right? So this is the line you can put in the interview. So they help to streamline a business process. If an API doesn't perform efficiently and effectively, it will never be included in a software system. Okay. An error in the API level can break the flow of entire application, as a chain of an integrated business process will be disrupted. So that is very important that API should do what it's supposed to do, and API can handle the load, and it will detect the ways the user can mess up the things. Okay. So to ensure that the API work across the device, browser and operating system. Okay. With the API testing, there could be the cost involved due to system failure. So I think API, like, there are a lot more things. I'll cover API testing maybe later. So there's one more thing, that API testing is a form of integration testing, right? That is performed to test the API to validate its functionality, reliability, performance, and security of an application for which API is used. So we'll be having a separate video on API, guys. So API is a very interesting topic, and I love that topic. And I've worked on API like since for very long, so I have a lot of experience on API. So I'll make the slide and we're gonna have a video on API. So encapsulation, setter and getter purpose. So we know encapsulation, right? Our human body is an encapsulation. It's an example of an application. So, all our body parts is covered under the skin. So that's how we learn encapsulation. But here is a different way. We just gonna go more advanced of it. So encapsulation is used to hide the values or the state of a structured data object inside a class, preventing direct access to them by clients in a way that could expose hidden implementation details or violate the state invariance maintenance by the methods. Okay. So getter and setter. So that's one getter. So how we gonna do that? We cannot have everything static over there. We work in a dynamic nature and we need to do the changes over there. So we use getter and setter. So I use to protect your data, particularly when creating classes. For each instance variable, a getter method returns its value, while a setter method sets or updates its value. Okay. So when we get the value and then we set the value, we will get the value and then we want to set the value. We will be setting it with the setter. So given this, getter and setter are also known as assessor and mutators respectively. So this The effects of getter and setters could be leveraged to set the permission to variables. So there are many permissions, so you can go and check the permission. But I think for the interview version, it is this one is I think whatever covered in the slide, I think this is sufficient. Okay, so you should know how to write the code even. Yeah. So try practicing the code. It will be a little easier for you to understand it. Okay, then we come to the end of this video. I think this video I have made it short, and I have to say something in the beginning of the slide, guys. So please understand me. I'm not wasting your time. So apology if you feel like that, and just please like and subscribe to my channel and increase the views, guys. I have not even completed the 4K views, and I'm making a good content now. And I think I don't use such like I'm not making video for this thing. Like I have unnecessary stuff. I have very useful stuff if you can watch it and understand it, and it will be really great for you. And all the best, guys, and hope you all are doing really great and taking precautions and protections. And yeah, like stay safe, stay at home.